and good afternoon in New York. I'll give everybody some time to log on. So I'm back in my bedroom. Yesterday I was in the kitchen and just adjusting. And then today I promised we were going to do some. Today we're going to do some therapeutic work that people requested yesterday. So we'll be doing some work on the lower back. We'll work on the core. I'll talk about your knees. And then somebody mentioned upper thighs. So I don't know if that means IT band, hip flexors. But yeah, we'll basically go from the lower back down. So we've done upper back quite a bit last week. And today we'll go from the lower back down. So I will start off for you now. So I have my mat on the floor and my coffee on the dresser. Oh. Yeah, so we're going to start on the floor on all fours. And the first thing we'll do is really just cat and cow to warm up the lower back. So you'll inhale and drop your belly, exhale, and then really push your back up. And you can even stay up here and rock a little forward and back. And then do that again. Inhale, look up. And exhale, push up. And we'll do that 3 more times. So inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, push. And last 2, inhale. Exhale. And then last one, inhale. Exhale. Okay. And then we'll go into hip circles. So you'll lean to the right, really drop the hip forward, lean to the left, and do that 10 times in one direction. And you'll even hear a little click and a pop. And then we'll go 10 times in the opposite direction. So when you're doing this video with me, all of these little exercises that you would normally rush through or not do, because I'm doing them as well, you're kind of forced to do them. So we're doing 10. And then 10 reverse. And these 2 30-minute videos I've been doing a week that focus more on rehab have helped me too, because I can get really lazy about these things. And I'll do 1 more. Okay, and then from here, for the lower back, we'll start working on some plank. So your core is your front and your back. And when people do a lot of core, they sit, you tend to pull forward. And if you can't do anything against that, and you assume that position with the internally rotated hip, that creates a lot of pain. So we'll just do light core work on all fours, and then we'll do core work later on our backs. So the first thing we'll do is you'll tuck your toes, you'll press to your hands, and then you lift your knees, and we're going to hold that here. So we'll start off with 30 seconds. So place your hands on the mat, lift the knees, and just hover. And really keep your upper back strong, arms are strong, feet are strong. You should push your hips back far enough so you don't feel this in your thighs, but you feel this predominantly in your core, in your abs. 10 more seconds. And rest. And then you're going to come onto your stomach, and we're going to alternate between pulling the feet in really close, opening up the thighs and the hip flexors, And then letting the feet go and lifting the chest. We'll do that 10 times. So pull the legs in, release your head forward, really give it a good stretch. And then lift up the legs and your chest and hold for 15 seconds. Squeeze your glutes, lift from your back. And then come down, release your head down, pull your legs in, close towards your hips. There's almost traction from the knee down to the floor while you're pulling your feet up towards your bum. And then lift your chest, lift your legs, 15 seconds. Five more seconds. Okay, and pull in. We'll only do 10 seconds holding each end. And then up. And then pull the legs in. So this is two birds with one stone. We're getting the fronts of the thighs that also get a beating when we're sitting and walking. And then we're gently working your back. And pull the legs in. And come up. And then after this one, we'll do 3 more. Lift your chest at the front. Good. Last 3. Pull in. You can even lift up your thighs here. And then the front. And then 2 more. And up. And up. And then 1 more. Up. And then lift your chest. And then from here, we'll come into child's pose. Okay, so push back. A quick child's pose. You should feel a lot more opening around here. Your lower back should feel a bit more stable. Okay, and then we'll come up to standing. Forward. Push your hips back. If you feel that this is too hard for you to do freestanding, you could find a wall behind your structure that you can lean into a little bit. And we're going to hinge forward with a straight back. Hold for a second. Drop down. Roll up. We'll do that 10 times. Hinge forward. Down. And up. And 8 more. Hinge forward with a straight back. Down. Roll up to standing. Hinge forward. Down. Roll up. So for your lower back, especially if you feel like it's on one side, it pinches, feels a bit unstable, it helps to open up the surrounding tissue. And so some of it you can do with stretching, some of it has to be done through applying pressure. So last week I did a video on hip release, and that's still on YouTube, where we used and the cross ball to release the piriformis. And that then helped unlock the hips. I'll just do one more. Good. And then while we're here, we're going to turn our toes out and work on the thighs. So the person who mentioned thighs might also just want to sculpt them and strengthen them. And this touches on the knee as well. So when your knees hurt, it's usually, unless you have like severe knee problems and you've, frayed your meniscus, torn the cartilage, usually it's either muscles that are too weak and that don't support the knee, and you start a new exercise program and your knees can't actually do it, or you've overdone it a little bit. Your knee is your weak spot, your thighs get too strong and they pull on the knee and pull it out of alignment, and then a lot of people get knee pain as well. So what we'll do now, we'll strengthen the thighs and later on we'll stretch them. So we're going to stay low. Really keep your knees tracking out to the side. Don't let them collapse in. And then we're just going to pulse. We'll pulse for 1 minute. The goal is to keep your chest up, keep your toes really far turned out. As you can see, our new setup is eclectic. And there's no built-in storage. So we went for our suitcases to hangers. So that's still something we need to resolve. Keep pulsing. We have 20 seconds left. And for all you runners who get knee pain and aren't effectively using their glutes, that's what the next exercise is going to be for. Okay, stretch out briefly, few hip circles. You can keep your feet parallel again for that. Okay, and then I'll show you monster walks that you can do with or without a resistance band. The goal here is to keep your feet parallel, your knees bent, and what we'll do right now is we'll step 3 to the right, 3 to the left, and we'll do that 10 times to the right, 10 times to the left. You're stepping, 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 step, step, step. So initially, just to get the hang of it, you probably want to do this without a band, and then you can add a band to your ankles. But often what I see when people start using the band and they're not doing it correctly is that one foot turns out and it negates the effect of this exercise. So for now, we'll just have you staying low. You can even squeeze, engage the glute with each step. Pull up on your toes. And then just back. Okay, and then I'll show you the next 2 exercises, also very typical sort of runner rehab for any runner that has lazy glutes. So again, you would step forward, 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 back, 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 step, 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 turn your toes in, step, step, step. And so with a band, you would step at a diagonal, step at a diagonal, step, and we're just playing with this without step. You're still low, your thighs should still be working, so should your glutes. Squeeze, squeeze your glutes. And we'll do 2 more forward and back. And last one. Okay. And then, so once you feel that your glutes are warmed up, what you can do is, and I do this before a run, you push into a structure, either a wall, or in this case, I'm going to use the stressor. You come onto your tiptoes with one leg. You extend the hip forward. You drive your knee up, and then you kick it back. Up, and up, and up. And so we'll do that 15 times. You have to find that spot where your hip is extended, and when you drive the knee up, it's not hitting the wall or the object. And so you're leaning, and then you go up actively, back, up, actively, back, up, into your chest, up. We'll do 10 more. Relaxed on the back, and then up. And last one. Good. So you're working the feet, the whole back of the leg. So for all of you with the knee problems, that should probably strengthen the right areas. And the hip extension actually also engages the lower back in a relaxed way. So other leg, drive the knee up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Three more. Okay, good. All right, so before we come onto the ground for core, I want to show you a single leg deadlift, which is the other thing that you can do for your glutes. So we'll do 10 with each leg. You would stand on one leg, bend that knee. You'll drive the up. So if you're balancing on your right foot, the left foot doesn't touch the ground. I will do that 10 times. Back and up, back, up. Full hip extension at the top. That's to combat sitting. For me, it combats stroller running, where I'm constantly in this forward-leaning position. It's a different stride. I'll do one more. Okay, so you can tell, if you don't usually do these, that your lower leg starts burning. Try not to get discouraged. You will bring this back up. And just think of it that all of this is strengthening your legs in the right way. And your goal should be to at least be able to do 5 without falling out of them. Not today, but in general. And you can't rush them. And you can't lose your focus. And I'll do one more. Okay, good. Shake the legs out. Let's come down into the ground for core. What we'll do today is more of a diastasis recti approach. So when women have children, in order to give the belly more space, their midline separates gradually. And so when we give birth, we try to gradually bring that back together. So we have to avoid doing anything extreme like crunches that puts more pressure on the midline. So what we do in these exercises is the opposite. Throughout this, you're going to try and keep your lower back flat against the floor. So the first thing we'll start with is your head is always down. You find that natural curve in your lower back, and we'll do 5 exhales where you press down into the ground. So you exhale, you go down. Inhale up, exhale, tilt your hip. Inhale up. You're tilting, but you're not lifting the hip. It's like your hip bones want to say hello to your shoulders. It's like you're trying to squeeze something under your lower back. Someone actually told me, if you think of a blood pressure cuff, if you had that under your lower back, if you pressed it, you could see on the dial how much pressure you're applying. So that's a good visual for me. Okay, now this is going to be your engaged state. Lower back is flat. Now you're going to peel your legs off the ground. And from here, we're going to do toe taps, 20 of them. Down, down, head is down, 3, 4, 5. This is the only time you don't get extra credit for lifting your head. It's not a crunch. Okay. We'll do 10 more. Keep pressing your lower back down. Like there's no space for light to come through. Okay, and then set your feet down. Let your lower back relax. For a moment, come onto your side. The other area of your core that people often don't focus on is your obliques. And they're wonderful because they actually create a waist, but they also support your whole midline in a really gentle way. And you can do oblique work pregnant, you can do it postpartum, and you don't have to worry. So for this one, we'll do an easy version. Knees are bent, toes are pulled up behind you. They're aligned, the knees are aligned. Your hip comes up. So what we'll do now is the arm that is up top lifts. You're going to lift the knee off, bring it back down, rotate your arm back, arm up, knee down, rotate, and up. We'll do that 15 times. The knee comes up, lowers, you rotate, and up, down. So again, in this like crazy episode of Rehab madness, we are working the hip and glutes a little bit. We're working the obliques. We'll support your lower back and all of that in one exercise. And someone woke up in a bad mood. Okay, and then we'll swing the legs around and do the other side. So you can just follow me from the first exercise. You know what to do now. Hip stays up, leg lifts, and then the arm goes down and back. So hips come up, we're doing 15. Keep your hips forward, not backwards. Lift, down, back. Lift, down, back. Okay, good. All right, so none of this is groundbreaking in terms of you being super sore tomorrow, but you'll be super prepared to do a really hard last workout with me for the week. Okay, so we're coming back to neutral back, engaged back. Legs come up. We're going to do 15 toe taps with both feet without peeling off. Let's do that. So down, 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 down. Don't let your lower back go. Leave your head on the ground. Good, and the last thing we'll do for strengthening is going to be that you engage your lower back and then you peel your legs up. This time you get to lift your head. And we're going to press into the tops of your thighs and then tapping the feet down, head is down, come up, press, feet down, head down, and press, and down. We'll do that 15 times. The lower back will try and come up, and you'll work against it. Okay, lower back down, legs up, head up. Press, open. Press, open. Ten more. Four more. And last one. Okay, so build some fire there after all. I want to show you a great stretch for your hip and hopefully for your whole lower back. So bring your right foot to the outer side of your mat and then your left foot into a lunge at the left outer side of your mat. And then actually we'll start off with a twist up. So we're opening up the groin without lowering that back foot down, without lowering the back knee down. So we're opening up. You get to lean into your right knee. So the hip opens, the back actually can relax. And then you reverse it by coming down onto one elbow or maybe even two. For me today, that'll be a firm one. Let the right knee fall out to the side. Back knee is still off the ground. Bring the back knee down. Grab your back foot, open up the hip flexor. And then we'll switch. So left leg at the left side of your mat. Right leg, knees up, all the way to the right side. Left hand inside the left leg. Twist and open. Lean into your own leg. That actually feels really good. Resist the urge to lower your back heel down. Okay, and then come on to one or two elbows. Let this knee fall out to the side and rock a little bit. And then come up, grab your back knee, grab your back foot, and then open up the hip flexor. My child just asked for ice cream. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Whose kids have quarantine diets? Or 2020 diets? Okay. And then the last one for everybody with back problems is find a sturdy object, keep your heels on the ground, lower down and hold on, and see if you can get into this squatting position that relieves your lower back. If you don't want to hold on, you can also place a yoga block under your bum. And then you can just stay in that position for a few seconds. But otherwise, I hope this all feels a little less jacked up. I hope your lower back feels stronger. We'll be doing this again next week. So a variation of the lower back, and the knees and hips is probably always going to be included because it's my weak spot too. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys for another workout soon, either tomorrow or next week. And then if I don't see you tomorrow, enjoy your weekend. It's been another long week and I don't even know why. Okay, take care, stay healthy, bye.